finest high school holiday basketball tournament. And we've got two teams that are highly successful in the states where they come, and they're first-time visitors here to Myrtle Beach. Good afternoon. I'm Alan Smothers, joined courtside by the Executive Director of the Beach Ball, John Rhodes. How are you, John?
I'm doing good, Alan. It's great to be here. Great to get the tournaments going.
Yeah, and you've been here for all 38 of them. This is my 36th, I believe. And I tell you what, these two teams are probably as highly successful as any that we've had. North Little Rock coming in off of 4 state championships in the last 5 years. And Florence, Mississippi, they just won a tournament before they got here, and they too have 4 state championships under head coach Darren Chancellor.
Well, you know, it's exciting to have these teams in when you got great coaches and great teams. That's what we try to do here, is to try to pick them out during the year and research and follow them and see how well they're doing and see if they're worthy of an invitation.
Well, John's the guy who picks the teams, and he picked North Little Rock, Arkansas, and Florence, Mississippi for the very first time. Each team comes in with 1 loss, and we'll tell you more about the Wildcats and the Eagles when we return to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and the Beach Ball Classic on Stadium.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Looking for the best place for oceanfront fun? Keeping the kids cool as you relax and float around our lazy river. The Breakers Resort has excitement for the entire family. Plenty of space on our oceanfront deck and the best restaurants on property, like breakfast, coffee on the balcony, or entertainment and drinks. However you choose to spend your vacation, make sure to stay at the Breakers Resort in the heart of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now.
Back courtside, inside the Lambeau Arena in the Myrtle Beach Convention Center, as the first round of the Beach Ball Classic is about to commence. As we said, the 38th annual Beach Ball Classic here in 2018, and John corrected me during the time out there that this is the second visit, and I should have remembered that. 4 years ago, North Little Rock was here off a state championship in 2015 as well. So they were state champions in 13, 14, 15, and last year, and they were runners-up in 2017. So Johnny Rice's team comes in with a 10-1 record. They beat Mills last Saturday 58-41, and Johnny's record in his 7 years, 156-32. John, these guys know what success is all about.
It is, and they play in tough conferences. I mean, you know, they both come from great sports areas in their state. Little Rock, Arkansas, there's no question about what they have there. Not only do they have great high school boys teams, they also have great girls teams there. And then Florence, Mississippi is exciting to have them here. It's first trip for a team out of Mississippi to the Beach Ball Classic. And this was a great breakthrough for us.
Yeah, Coach Darren Chancellor's team is 8-1 coming in off a win over Terry High School last Friday, 81-54. And Coach Chancellor has 424 victories in his career. But North Little Rock better be successful, or their highly acclaimed alumnus Jerry Jones might have something to say about it.
Yep.
Jerry Jones went to North Little Rock.
Well, yeah, it is surprising, isn't it? How about that?
And Mary Steenburgen did too. How about that? We do our homework here at the Beach
Well,
Ball
you know, the
Classic.
thing is, a lot of these schools are coming in, it will surprise you who graduated from their schools and who are nationally known, like Jerry Jones.
Absolutely. And we are set for the tip-off. Joe Rosano, Joey Manigault, and Cedric Brown are your officials this afternoon. And Joey will toss it up in the center circle, and we are set to go. The starting lineup for Florence. They start in the backcourt. Devin Carter, a 5'10 sophomore, and Lorenzo Fort, a 6'3 senior. The front court consists of 6'4 senior Jalen Johnson and Jalen Forbes, who is signed with the Alabama Crimson Tide, 6'5 senior, and Jalen McNair, a 6'6 freshman, in the starting lineup for the Florence Eagles. For North Little Rock's Wildcats, they start in the backcourt with DJ Shaw, as the first shot of the ball game is a three-pointer, and it goes down for the Wildcats. DJ Shaw, 5'7 sophomore, Colin Moore, a 6'4 senior, and Spencer Sims, a 6'2 junior. Mekhi Washington is the 6'5 junior forward, and 6'2 senior forward is Sean Fudge for North Little Rock, Arkansas. Handcuffed in the lane, but a foul is going to be committed.
Heard that
by
one.
Florence, yes, we did. And it's going to be ticketed to Devin Carter. Actually, they called that on, Jalen Forbes? Yeah, Jalen Forbes. I didn't see Forbes in there on
I
that
did
one.
not know.
I thought it was for certain Devin Carter, but Forbes got the handcuff. Pass off the baseline left. Nice post entry at the nail. Up off the glass, North Little Rock leads at 5-0.
Well, you know, like I say, it's a new game, new day. They all got to get. Both these teams have traveled all night to get here. North Little Rock got here at 9 this morning, and Florence got here at 6 this morning.
So maybe a little heavy legs early. Not
Yep.
so far for North Little Rock. We got a jump ball at the elbow, and it's going to be baseline right and stay with Florence.
Alan, it's tough when you drive all night in vans.
Yeah, you're right.
And you're 6'5" and 6'4".
I'm not that tall, but it's tough even for guys that are 5'6" like me. Between the wheels, they'll set the offense. Devin Carter. Carter angles right. Hands off to Lorenzo Carr, who skips a pass cross court to Jalen Johnson. Actually, that's Jalen Forbes, and Forbes misses the point-blank shot. And a timeout for North Little Rock as he went to the floor with the basketball in hand. Colin Moore, that is a 30-second timeout for possession.
Well, you know, we got a game going on right here that basically looking at teams, as I say, they've traveled all night to get here.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take a little time for them to get into the flow. And as I say, I think Florence had the longest drive. So hopefully they get it together. I mean, Jalen's missed a couple of shots already, but he is the big key player.
Well, Jalen Forbes is already committed to Alabama, the 6'5 senior, averages over 23 points a ball game. And for North Little Rock, they've got a couple of kids that have been recruited heavily. Matter of fact, I believe Colin Moore has been offered by North Little Rock, Arkansas, or actually by Little Rock, the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. And the Wildcats with the basketball, up 5-0. Working the ball around the arc and then throw it away. First turnover by the Wildcats. John, you mentioned before the game started that this is the first week of voting for the McDonald's All-American teams. And so these guys, but you picked them in January, right?
Well, you do. You know, nowadays you have to get ready because they do the announcing of the winners the 16th, 17th of January.
How about that? That's early,
And
isn't it?
they do that during the hoop hall tournament.
Gotcha.
And it's quite an event as far as trying to get these things going, because not only are you picking the players, you also got to pick the coaches.
Well, the first vote goes in this week, the second vote next week, and then the McDonald's All-American teams will be picked after the first of the year. So they got a short window to show their talents. Nice pull-up jumper just below the foul line by Florence, Mississippi. They're still scoreless. 2.5 minutes in. Block shot down low by Forbes, and he'll bring it to the front court himself. All the way to the rack, scoop shot, good.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Great body control by Jalen Forbes. Future Crimson Tider for Avery Johnson.
I think the pace has been set, Alan. This is not going to be a slow ball game. You don't have to worry about a shot clock in this one.
Nope. No shot clock at the Beach Ball Classic, but as you said, John, I don't think we'd need one.
Would not need one, no, sir.
North Little Rock scored on their first 2 possessions. They've been shut down on the past couple, but now trying to add points from the foul line. And it rings in good for Spencer Sims. Sims, a 6'2 junior. Designated shooter. And misfires on the second. Rebound for Jalen McNair, and he outlets to Lorenzo Fort. Fort stopping just outside the 3-second lane. 3 in the air. Switch! And it draws the Eagles to within 1. Three at the other end is off the mark. And you see we have 2 lines here. The high school line is the shorter of the 2 lines because we play college games here in the...
Alan, we had a 3-on-1 down court for Florence, and daggone if they didn't miss a layup.
Couldn't complete it. And, oh, nice drive into the lane. Scoop shot by DJ Shaw. Wouldn't go down. And then it's knocked out of bounds by Colin Moore. But the shorter line, the blue line on the floor, is the high school three-point line. So you see a lot of times, though, that darker black line does, the peripheral vision of the players is thrown off a bit, and they'll shoot it a little further from distance than they need to, like right there. That's a college NBA or college 3, almost an NBA 3, but a foul on the rebound attempt. Joey Manigault comes out to tell the officials.
Alan, I think there's too much emphasis put on the three-point shot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. It's great for basketball, but
Forbes trying to add to his earlier bucket, still with just 2 points. And an easy fast break going the other way, completed by Spencer Sims. 8-5 now. There's Forbes, head of the key. Gets a ball screen, pulls up for another long 3, and that's right there. Again, because of the distance, that peripheral vision of the black line, he shot it just probably 2 feet beyond his distance.
He shot an air ball,
yeah.
and that's just not like him. I mean,
he's thinking he's at 18 feet.
Of course,
he's really at 22.
Also, this facility here, you got a little depth perception.
That's true.
And if you're used to playing in a regular gymnasium in high school, you don't have the distance between the goal and the wall.
All right, we've got a media timeout on the floor with North Little Rock up by 3 as you watch the Beach Ball Classic on Stadium.
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is upping our game with a brand new state-of-the-art indoor sports complex. The Myrtle Beach Sports Center is just steps from the Atlantic Ocean and features 100,000 square feet of year-round tournament and event space. The center offers a combination of 8 regulation basketball courts, 16 volleyball courts, and more. With over 70,000 square feet of free span space, this massive venue can host everything from mat sports to trade shows. For more information or to book your event, contact the Myrtle Beach Sports Center today.
Back inside the Myrtle Beach Convention Center, Alan Smothers, John Rhodes, as North Little Rock from Arkansas leading Florence from Mississippi 8-5, and there's quite a disparity in shooting right now, John. 15% from Florence. They've got 13 shots up, 2 of 13, 1 of 6 from three-point range. And on the other side, just 3 of 6 for North Little Rock. They've made the most of their attempts, but right now they're not getting anything out of Jalen Forbes.
No, they're not. And you know, right now, like I say, the depth of perception, I think, is having an effect on Jalen's shooting.
Jalen does have 4 rebounds, but he's 1 for 9 from the field in the first 5 minutes of this one. Actually, only 4 minutes gone. He is 1 for 9, and the three-point distance in the left corner, Sean Fudge knocks it down for North Little Rock to extend their lead to 6.
His second three-pointer, he's shot twice. He's hit both of them.
Yes, he has. 2 for 2 from the bonus sphere. Couple of steals, actually 3 on 1 possession, and it's up good on the fast break for North Little Rock.
DJ Smith's got some very quick hands.
DJ Shaw puts it up off the glass, good. And a push-off. Now a pull-up jumper at the foul line, in and out, offensive board, stripped on the way up, but a foul is called. So Colin Moore.
Jalen McNair on the line, shooting 2. Just missed his first one. Bounced it in off the rim.
So we're trying to find the correct name, and John was correct. It is DJ Smith. I miswrote it from on my earlier in the week when I did all my rosters out of the scorebook, and I wrote down DJ Shaw, but it's Mason Shaw, the 5'10" senior, and DJ Smith is a 5'7" sophomore. And Smith, and Tracy Steele in the ball game for North Little Rock for the first time at number 3.
Great block back there.
And Kareem Cotton is in for the first time. Long 3, and it rings in for Florence to cut that lead down to 4. Lead had ballooned up to 7, and we got a reach-in foul on a triple team right at center court. 10:52 to play.
The foul's on Wayne Lewis. That's his first.
So I got to redo all of the rosters after the first game anyway, because we always have players that are wearing different numbers than what was in the program when they get here, like Kareem Cotton. They had Kareem Cotton as number 33. He's actually wearing number 12 tonight. And Jalen Forbes, another long 3 and misses, an air ball, and he says he was hit on the arm.
I think Jalen just needs to calm down a little bit, take his time, don't try to force it.
I didn't see a foul there, but
no, I
claims,
I actually think he forced that shot out.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit out of his range with that long 3-point line. He should step in to the blue line instead of the black line. It's not that big a difference, but when you come up short of the rim, it does make a huge difference.
Got a foul on DJ Shaw from North Little Rock, pushing in the back there.
DJ Smith, and you had it right the first time. Let me put you.
Oh, you got it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you had it right and I've got it wrong. So it's DJ Smith.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. That was my fault. I messed you up by giving you the wrong roster.
I don't know anybody from Bill Clinton's hometown.
No, absolutely right. Inbound Wayne Lewis with it now for Florence. 8-1 coming in. They won the Rankin County pre-Christmas tournament last week. And each of these teams with 1 loss on the missed shot by the Eagles.
You know, you're really impressed on how North Little Rock is positioning themselves in for the offensive rebound.
Very patient.
A defensive rebound, really.
Absolutely. And carry, Colin Moore.
You don't see that often.
Yeah, he had to put his hand down on the floor, and when he did, he cupped the basketball to keep possession, and Joey Manigault was right on top of it. So a turnover. That is the second for North Little Rock. Fast break, and that's going to be a charge. Joe Rosano says, not going to get away with that one. Ran straight into the defender who was set up in the lane.
That was Kareem Cotton who committed foul.
Yep. Third turnover on the offensive foul. 4 each for the Eagles and the Wildcats now here in the first half. We play 16-minute halves at the Beach Ball Classic rather than 8-minute quarters. And, John, you guys decided to do that a few years ago with the executive committee. Speeds up play a little bit, doesn't it?
It keeps us right on track, keeps us on time. We're very happy with this. And I'm not sure, but I believe that Chick-fil-A may be doing that now also in Columbia.
In Columbia.
But we're the ones who the state association gave permission to try it. They came down, they saw it, they liked it. And as I say, it keeps us right on time.
You can play games in an hour and a half and give you 15 minutes between games and stay on schedule. So North Little Rock at the foul line for the third time.
Colin Moore.
2 for 3 there. Moore looking for his second in a row. And he cans it, so 3 for 4 at the foul line for North Little Rock. And back in for the Wildcats is Sean Fudge. Fudge has a couple of threes in the ball game already. And the ball is off of Florence, deflected by Tracy Steele, and it then careened off the hands of Lorenzo Fort. Setting the lineups for you right quick. For Florence, it's Devin Carter, Jacob Walker in the ball game, Lorenzo Fort, Jalen Forbes, and Jalen Johnson. I'll give you North Little Rock's. Oh, block shot inside by Fort. The Wildcats counter with Tracy Steele, who'll inbound baseline left, along with Kalen McCullough. And it comes to Jacor Williams, and it's tipped up by Kalen McCullough, but doesn't fall. Kareem Cotton in the ball game, and a slam dunk by Lorenzo Fort. Timed it perfectly, and Florence is back to within 4. Brought the Eagle fans to their feet. And also in the ball game for North Little Rock is Sean Fudge. Missed from underneath the bucket by McCullough. And that's the second foul on Jalen Forbes here in the first half. Actually, the first quarter of this ball game. 2 fouls on Forbes. At the line, Kalen McCullough, 6'4" senior.
Yeah, I hope that Jalen, just because of having 6 voters here from McDonald's All-American, I hope he's not put too much pressure on himself.
So far, he is 1 of 11, 0 for 5 from downtown. Pull-up jumper at the nail, and he nails it. That's Lorenzo Fort, making it a 3-point ball game. So you'd look up, you'd think this was more of a 10 or 12-point North Little Rock lead, but Florence has a chance to tie it right here.
Well,
Forbes from way downtown misses short. He's now 0 for 6. That was an NBA 3 right there. He comes down with a long pass, but steps on the end line and gives it back to the Wildcats.
One thing about Jalen, he is all over the court. He has a great nose for the ball, and I don't know how many rebounds he has right now, but he is the leading rebounder for Florence.
He has 6. Wayne White, our statistician, keeping up with everything. And we've got a stat monitor right in front of us. Nice jump pass or jump stop, and it's stolen. Stole it right out of his breadbasket. And there's a three from the left side.
Now we got a tie game.
Lorenzo Fort ties it up with his 4th field goal of the ball game and his 2nd three-point shot. And Coach Johnny Rice said that's enough. 7 straight run off by Florence. Yeah, Florence has scored 7 straight, and North Little Rock has missed its last 7 shots.
Well, the tide turns.
No field goals in the last 4 minutes and 28 seconds.
But it's not been because they weren't running down the court, not because they're not rebounding. They just have not had the shots to fall.
There's Lorenzo Fort making the shot go down. And 7:03.
Alan, it's a 16-16 game. The shooting is not what we'd like to see.
No.
But it's still an exciting game.
It is, up and down.
They're not standing around. They are aggressively trying to attack the goal.
North Little Rock got to get back on track. They were at 50% when they were 3 for 6. Now they're 5 of 15, missing 7 in a row. Far side pass. Now a post entry. Up off the glass. Good no call on that play as Devin Carter flopped in the lane. Hoped to get the charge, but the officials resisted. And North Little Rock scores its first bucket in almost 5 minutes. They retake the lead, but now Forbes has it inside. And a fall away is blocked. A little step back jumper and then a fast break opportunity is perfect. Thought there may have been one too many passes right there, but there was a 3-on-1 break that was executed almost exactly right, and we've got a foul, a reach-in on Sean Fudge. Coach Rice won't like it, but he did. Got his hand between the two, and Coach Rice thinks that he had possession of the ball, but I think that's a good call by Joe Rosano.
Well, it is, but North Little Rock is really attacking on defense.
They're coming after it. And here you see, there's the arm reaching in right there. And it deflected the ball away, but Florence retains possession. Down by 4 now. Tried to cut it, but instead it ricochets off the rim. And back down in a hurry. North Little Rock transition bucket. 3 in a row now. That timeout was
a
perfect.
Great move right there.
The timeout, whatever Coach Rice said, worked. Because they've scored 6 straight now. And almost a steal. Now it is. Lead pass down floor. 8 straight points for the Wildcats.
Aggressive defense.
And Coach Chancellor now says that's enough. They had tied it up at 16, and North Little Rock called timeout, scored 8 straight, and now the Eagles want to slow things down a little bit. Wow, the shooting percentage rose a little bit for Florence during that run, up to 26%. North Little Rock's fell to 33%, but now they've made 4 buckets in a row. So that helps. Shooting percentage is back up to 47%, 9 of 19 for North Little Rock, 6 of 25 for Florence. So they're getting more shots, but Spencer Sims is the most efficient so far. He's 4 for 4 from the floor for the Wildcats, and for Florence, 4 of 8 for Lorenzo Fort, including a couple of threes. But Jalen Forbes has got to get off the schneid.
1 for 13. He's going to have to quit shooting so much right now. He's got to get back in and get the feel of the game. He's got 4 other players on the court there that are good players. Let's use them.
Yeah, they've got athletes, that's for sure. Florence attacks the man-to-man right now. And a bounce pass is almost lost, and it is on the baseline. Let's see who touched it last. I believe it was North Little Rock.
Florence is very lucky to get that ball back.
Yep. He dribbled right into a double team. 5:20 to play, first half. First game of the 38th annual Beach Ball Classic. Like I said, John has been here since year 1. Took over as executive director in year 3, I believe it was.
2.
2, second year for Coach D'Antoni. Yep,
82.
82, and I came in 86, so this is my 32nd Beach Ball Classic. Even when I moved away for a couple of years, I made it back post-Christmas.
Well, it's always been a great tournament. We've had great talent. Of course, when it was at Socastee,
Oh,
you had that environment there
it was
where
awesome.
the fans were sitting on top of the court, and it really was something special.
Yep, and then we opened the beautiful Myrtle Beach Convention Center, and it will be packed tonight. There'll be 4,000 in here this evening for the night session. 4 games today, 6 tomorrow, but 4 more first-round games and a couple of point-blank misses for Florence. Now North Little Rock wants to set a half-court game. Recycling. Inside the center jump circle, DJ Smith. Crossover. Nice pass inside and a foul.
Oh,
That was ugly. But
thank goodness he didn't get hurt on that
yeah,
one.
came down hard. Wayne Lewis, I believe.
Yes.
Wayne Lewis, the 6'1 senior, goes flying in. That's 3 on Wayne. 3rd foul on Wayne Lewis. I didn't think he's been in the game that long.
I did not either.
They've called 3 fouls on him. He hasn't taken a shot yet.
Took one 0 for 1, Alan.
Yep.
Yep.
You're right. Did miss a 3.
And had 1 rebound, 3 fouls.
So Wayne Lewis picks up his 3rd foul, and at the line, Kalen McCullough there for the 2nd time. He was 1 for 2 on the first trip, and he is 1 for 2 on his 2nd trip.
Now North Little Rock has built a 10-point lead.
Yep, it's tied at 16, and they
tied
scored
at 16.
10 straight.
That's right, and Florence is not scratched.
Haven't scored since that timeout that Coach Rice called to settle his team down. Well, they had missed 7 in a row, and another steal. These are live ball steals too, John, and turned into points at the other end.
I mean, it's like you're telecasting where you're going to throw the ball.
Whew.
And so, with North Little Rock, you got quick hands, long arms. Hey, it's not smart basketball.
No, they've made some ill-advised passes the past few times down the court. Coach Darren Chancellor, 424 wins coming in against only 163 losses in 10 years at the helm of Florence, Mississippi. Jalen Johnson coming back in the ball game to replace Jalen McNair. McNair is a good-looking freshman. North Little Rock struggling a bit at the foul line. 6 of 9. And at the other end, another missed layup. That's about 3 of the last 4 times down. They've had shots from underneath the cylinder and have not connected.
There must be a lid on the basket.
Oh. Florence scored 7 straight to tie the ball game at 16 and haven't scored since.
I mean, North Little Rock has an unbelievable motion offense, Alan. They just continue to go into a circle and keep flowing in and out.
We got a timeout on the floor. That foul is on Jalen Johnson, and we'll tell you more about it when we return. North Little Rock leads it by 10 with 3:32 to play in the first half.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach time.
26-16 the score as North Little Rock has run off 10 in a row after being tied at 16, and the shooting percentage for Florence is going down, down, down as the minutes roll off the clock. John, 6 of 29, just 20% from the floor.
Jalen Forbes is 1 for 16.
Yeah. Does have 8 rebounds.
Yeah.
He's worked on the glass for sure, but 0 for 7 from the bonus sphere. At the foul line now, and the third foul was called on Jalen Johnson before that break. And so they've got 2 players in foul trouble already. Wayne Lewis, Jalen Johnson, each with 3, and Jalen Forbes has 2. So it's not been a good day for the Eagles so far.
No, and all North Little Rock is doing is building the lead.
Foul shot was good by Colin Moore, and he does have an offer from Arkansas Little Rock. Looking to make it 2 in a row, and he does. 12-point lead now, 28-16. 3.5 to go, first period. Up next will be the Christian Academy Saints from right here in Myrtle Beach. In their first appearance at the Beach Ball. They have played in some other games, but they take on Archbishop Stepanak from Rochester, New York, from upstate.
Stepanak is defending state champion in the state of New York.
Yeah, they are excited about being here, John. I tell you what, they have posted more on social media about coming to Myrtle Beach than any team I've ever seen.
Well, they started out this year really bad, like 1 for 6, but they had 4 starters out.
Yeah, you told me that.
And so
another steal for North Little Rock, 3-on-none break. And boy, they run that fast break basketball, that transition. They turn it around in a hurry. And 16 in a row run off now by the Wildcats. So Rice's timeout was perfect, whatever they said. Now Forbes is trying to get open. Good defense by the Wildcats and a reach-in foul. They thought they got away with one right there, but Kareem Cotton.
Alan, they got some quick hands, I'm telling you right now.
Yes, they do. Yes,
North
they
Little Rock
do.
I mean, they are unbelievably aggressive on defense. They try to smother you as you come across half court. And if you're not careful with your pass, they've got it and gone.
So again, game 2 of the 38th Beach Ball Classic. Archbishop Stepanak from upstate New York against the Christian Academy of Myrtle Beach. 2 first-time teams again in this bracket. And Tyler Watkins will have that game with former Christian Academy head coach Darren Gore is going to join in on that broadcast.
Darren to do a very good job. He knows their ball game. He knows the in and outs of the Christian Academy. So
certainly does. And that third game today is the one I'm looking forward to. The Cox Mill Chargers with Duke signee Wendell Moore taking on the University Hawks out of Morgantown, West Virginia.
Alan, do you realize
my adopted home state?
If you realize that if Cox Mill wins the first game and Scott County wins the first game, they will meet in the quarters. 2 of the top 20 teams in the country.
Unbelievable.
Going head to head.
Scott County and Socastee, the host team, will close out play on the first day. Scott County head coach Billy Hicks is the all-time winningest head coach in the history of Kentucky basketball. That's hard to do.
Absolutely.
There's been some great ones in the Bluegrass. And here's a shot off the right side. Florence has finally gotten on the board. And let's see if Forbes can make it 2 in a row. He does. He missed the first attempt, got his own rebound. That was number 9, and stuck it back through.
He doesn't give up. He doesn't quit. He is continually going after the ball, whether it's on offense or defense.
Actually, that was his 11th rebound in the first half. So he has 7 points now and 11 rebounds. And up off the glass twice. They're playing volleyball with it above the rim, and finally is tapped in by Tracy Steele. Lead is back to 14. Florence's Eagles. One of the powers.
Finally, instead of three-pointer.
Yeah.
NBA.
So Forbes finally gets off the schneid from distance, but their answer at the other end is an easy 2 on the baseline right side. Forbes may have finally zeroed in after missing his first 7 threes. He makes his 8 and now has 9 points to go with his 11 rebounds. And he's back at the foul line. He can have a double-double in the first half if he makes this foul shot. And he does, so now 11 points and 10 rebounds. Or excuse me, 10 points and 11 rebounds. And he can go for 11 and 11 if he makes it. But still, they trail by a dozen. Back in the ball game, Sean Fudge for North Little Rock, joined by Colin Moore, Ja'Cour Williams, who's checking out of the ball game right now. Ja'Cour is replaced by Kalen McCullough. DJ Smith joins them in the lineup, and he misses the second one short. Grazes the front of the rim. So the depth perception may be bothering him, John.
I don't know.
You're right.
It's got to be because he's a better ball player than this. He's a better shooter than this.
Yep.
He's a great ball player. Don't misunderstand him. He's just a better shooter than this.
High on the right-hand quarter court. They are going to try to take the last shot here. Take a 12-point or better lead to halftime. Nice ball screen, left side, but it's a steal. Taken by Lorenzo Fort with 1 second, and it's blocked as he put it up from three-point distance, and a great defensive play by Colin Moore.
Great block.
Colin Moore came in from behind but got all ball, and it's a 12-point ball game. North Little Rock leads Florence 36-24 at halftime. I'm Ellen Smothers, joined by John Rhodes, and the third member of our broadcast team is going to join us in just a few minutes. Jack Murphy has got some folks that he's going to be talking to throughout the day, both at halftime and between games. We've got 4 games to play each day here at the Beach Ball Classic, and we'll broadcast all of them for you. And when we come back, Jack Murphy will be sitting down with one of the dignitaries here at the Beach Ball Classic's 38th annual event. North Little Rock leads Florence 36-24 in Game 1 on Stadium.
Looking for the best place for oceanfront fun? Keeping the kids cool as you relax and float around our lazy river. The Breakers Resort has excitement for the entire family. Plenty of space on our oceanfront deck and the best restaurants on property, like breakfast, coffee on the balcony, or entertainment and drinks. However you choose to spend your vacation, make sure to stay at the Breakers Resort in the heart of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Hello everybody, Jack Murphy. We are here for the first of many of our visitmyrtlebeach.com halftime blowouts. Ian Guerin is our guest now. If you're going to do the Beach Ball Classic, you might as well talk to a guy who knows more about it than you do.
I don't know that I know as much as any, a whole lot of people. I'd like to think so. It helps book sales if I don't say I'm a moron and I actually research this thing. On top of the little bit that I covered as well.
You wrote the book. You wrote the book on the Beach
It's
Ball
funny.
Classic.
That's how I get in parking the first day each of the last 2 years. When the guy says, "Who are you with?" I said, "I wrote the book on the tournament," and they laugh. And I show him a copy of the book. He lets me park for free.
Well,
so
that's cool.
It benefits. They just keep coming year after year.
Wow. It might not be a bad idea for me to go ahead and buy the book and say I'm with the guy who wrote the book.
Hey, I have a very large bandwagon. There's a lot of room in it because there's nobody hitched to it right now. So if you want to be number one, you can be number one in the bandwagon.
How did this book all come about, Ian, going back a few years?
Yeah, the publisher down in Charleston, their national publisher, they came to me. They knew at the time I was covering a lot of high school sports in the area. They wanted kind of an update on the tournament, where it stood. At that point, I had done 10 consecutive years of covering it. I kind of gave them a quick rundown. They said, how would you feel about writing a book on the history of this tournament, how it came about, some of the challenges maybe that they had to overcome, and then talk to some of the bigger guys. I said, yeah, I think I can do that. So spent 10 months researching it, did a lot of interviews,
Sure.
Obviously with John Rhodes, Dan D'Antoni along the way, and then the Vince Carters of the world that came through, Jason Kidd, some of those guys. And the book, really, a lot of it just kind of fell into place. I wanted to keep my narrative out of it and
Sure.
find the tournament's narrative, and that's basically how it happened.
Well, for the true basketball fan, they know the Beach Ball Classic, whether they've actually been in Myrtle Beach to see the tournament.
Right.
Started down at Socastee High School, but the move to the convention center has been really, really awesome.
Yeah, and I think one of the good examples of people knowing about the tournament was I spent a good amount of time talking with Roy Williams about it, and he would recruit this tournament when he was coaching at Kansas. And so for a guy who is at a national program 1,400 miles away, 1,300
Sure.
miles away, to say we need to have somebody in Myrtle Beach every year. I mean, and Myrtle Beach was even smaller than it is now. For them to say we need to be here, that told me a lot about the earliest years of this tournament.
Sure, and we saw Roy here last year, and
Right.
and other top Division I coaches
Right.
that have some championship rings. Good to see you.
Yeah,
People
absolutely.
can pick up the book online if they can't make it here to the tournament.
Yeah, just go to my website, iangarin.com. We can hook you up with an autographed copy.
All right, sounds
Absolutely.
like a plan, man. Good seeing you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on
I
again.
think Ian's probably going to be part of our broadcast team before we wrap up and get
Yes,
into
sir.
championship mode, but that's a few days away. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back with the pregame of the next broadcast, but boy, oh boy, stay tuned. More exciting basketball action from Myrtle Beach coming up. This is Jack Murphy from the VisitMyrtleBeach.com halftime show. More after this.
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is upping our game with a brand new state-of-the-art indoor sports complex. The Myrtle Beach Sports Center is just steps from the Atlantic Ocean and features 100,000 square feet of year-round tournament and event space. The center offers a combination of 8 regulation basketball courts, 16 volleyball courts, and more. With over 70,000 square feet of free span space, this massive venue can host everything from mat sports to trade shows. For more information or to book your event, contact the Myrtle Beach Sports Center today.
Back courtside at the 38th Annual Beach Ball Classic, America's finest high school holiday basketball tournament. And game one, we had a close ball game early, tied at 16, and then North Little Rock ran off 16 straight before Florence scored again. And at halftime, it's a 36-24 Wildcat lead over the Eagles. Shooting percentages quite a bit different. Florence is just 8 of 35, 23%, while North Little Rock shot 13 of 26 for an even 50% from the floor. The same from three-point distance, 2 of 4, as Florence couldn't find the range from outside the stripe. They were 4 of 15, including 1 of 8 from their best shooter, Jalen Forbes, who went 3 of 20 in the first half. He did garner a double-double, though, 10 points and 11 rebounds in the first half.
He's working his fanny off. There's no question about that, Alan. I mean, he's playing defense. He's got 3 fouls on him.
Two fouls.
Two fouls. I'm sorry,
fouls.
2 fouls on him.
Yeah.
But he's got 11 rebounds, so he's involved in the game. He just hasn't found that range on shooting. Hit the 1 3-pointer. I was hoping that would turn it around.
Yeah.
But then he comes right back and miss a couple more shots. But hopefully the second half he could unravel.
He is their top scorer, along with Jalen Johnson. Lorenzo Fort. Lorenzo has 10 points to even Jalen Forbes' 10 points. For the North Little Rock Wildcats, their top scorer is Spencer Sims with 9 points. He was 4 of 4 from the floor and had 1 for 2 at the foul line. Top rebounder is Colin Moore. He had 7 and 6 points apiece for Sean Fudge and Tracy Steele. Fudge was 2 for 2 from the bonus sphere. And free throws in the first half for North Little Rock, they were 8 of 12, 67%. For Florence, they were 4 of 6, also 67%. So
plus they've had 4 steals.
Yep.
And they've converted them into 8 points. And that right there has been, that sort of broke things open because they were at a crucial time when the game was tied up. They won that 16-point run. And half those points came off the steals. So, but as you and I both were talking, only 5 turnovers. It looked like there might have been a dozen.
At least. That's what we even questioned the best statistician in all of basketball, Wayne White.
And that was
5
dangerous.
turnovers?
That was dangerous for us to be questioned.
No question, as Wayne's the best there is in the business, but only 5 turnovers for Florence. Maybe that's something to build on in the second half. Hey, I want to thank all of our production crew here from the Beach Ball Classics 38th annual event. You saw Jack Murphy before the break. He was talking to Ian Guerin, who has written a book about the Beach Ball Classic, the history and some of the interesting stories, interesting characters that have been involved in this tournament over its history. So you can go to ianguerin.com. That's IANGUERIN, ianguerin.com, and get a copy of the Beach Ball Classic book. But Jack
was it $14.95, I believe it is?
I believe so.
And great book.
Great book. It's a soft cover and came out 2 years ago. He's going to add to it after the 40th annual event. So he's here covering the beach ball again this year. So you can pick up your own copy of the Beach Ball Classic history. But our camera operators are Valerie Knapp, Jim Lewis, Wynn Singleton, and Zach Lambert. Our graphics coordinator is Natalie Adams. Our replay technician is Andrew Mize. Our technical director is Scott Lineberger. Technical assistants Tristan Blackman and William Bone. And our illustrious leader, the director Donald Smith, and Lucky Dog Television Productions, bringing you this stadium broadcast courtesy of HTC Communications. HTC, this is life. Connect with it. And we'll have our HTC Player of the Game following this broadcast. So far, got quite a few choices, and we are set to go, Joe. Joe Rosano, Joey Banagalt, and Cedric Brown, our officials in today's game, as you watch the 38th annual Beach Ball Classic Game 1.
Well, let's see if Florence can make a game out of this. They've cut it to 12. It was up, 16?
Yep. So many as 16, so down to 12 as we begin the second half. North Little Rock obviously in the home white, Florence in the road black. And up top, they've gotten away with a travel there. A little slide step, but a missed shot from deep on the left. A rebound for the Eagles. Eagles operate all the way to the hole, missed the layup, and they did a lot of that in the first half.
They did. It just
missed too many close-in shots. North Little Rock does the same at the offensive end, though. Here you see Forbes, the Alabama commitment. He hit 1 3 in the first half. Now he's going to pull up for a 2, and he nails it. Maybe that'll get him off starting here in the second half.
Well, let's hope so. He's a very good player.
No doubt. McDonald's All-American nominee. John Rhodes, of course, our executive director, is a member of that McDonald's All-American committee. And the man who normally does the championship game with me every year, who's not going to be here with us this year, Van Coleman, is one of those voters. But Van, with the basketball channel out of Las Vegas, had some family issues. He had to stay home this year. So, Van, if you're watching, we miss you, buddy.
We do. I mean, I know it's during Christmas, and it's tough to get away all the time to come over and watch these games and help broadcast them. But, Van is just an excellent recruiter, scouting recruiter, or reporter, or what do you want to call him.
Yep.
He knows the game. He knows the players. and he does a very good job on helping broadcast the championship.
He has done it with me for the past dozen years. This year, got a very capable replacement in Big Shots basketball scout Kevin Schneider, and he has got a complete rundown on every single team and player in this tournament for us from Big Shots basketball. And I tell you what, they used every bit of rim on both of those shots, and
They
neither
can't
one
get
of
a
them
free
would go
throw
down.
to go down.
But Kevin Schneider will fill in this year, and Van will rejoin us, hopefully, for the 39th annual Beach Ball Classic next year.
Kevin will do you a very good job.
Oh, he'll
He's
do a great job.
extremely knowledgeable about the game, extremely knowledgeable about the players, and also knows where they're going.
Yep, he is on top of it better than anybody that we'll have with us this year.
Hot Shots does a very good job.
Big Shots.
I mean, Big Shots.
Yeah.
Hot Shots.
Big Shots.
But Jeff's the hot shot.
That's right.
Running the Big
Jeff,
Shots,
that's
right?
right. Jeff is the hot shot. Kevin is the
The brains.
He is. He'll tell you what, he knows, and he's got a photographic memory. He knows every player up one side and down the other. A wild shot. I thought he got fouled that time. Forbes was calling for the whistle. And we're going to have a blocking foul and an and one situation at the offensive end for North Little Rock. Oh, and is it going to go on Forbes?
I think it's Devin Carter.
Yeah, it is. It's on Devin Carter.
If it is, that's going to be his fourth. Nope. Nope, sorry. Second, rather.
Yep, that is on Devin Carter. It looked like a good call, but I thought Forbes got fouled on the other end. And he does too. And the coach is talking to Cedric Brown right now and letting him know that he thought Forbes got fouled on that last shot. He has the ball right now. Maybe a little bit too much dribbling right now for Forbes as he pulls up, misses from the baseline right. He's now 4 of 23 in the ball game. We've got a timeout, a full timeout on the floor for Florence with 13:49 to go in the ball game.
Alan, I guess you could say that Florence lives and dies by Jalen Forbes.
Yep. And it looks like he's got so many good athletes alongside of him.
He does. He's got to be. You got Lorenzo Fort.
10 points.
Who's there, and then you got Devin Carter. Both of them are very good ball players. I know they're role models, but still, sometimes you got to let that role model become a part of the game.
Yeah, Jalen Johnson. Look at this, John. 6'4" senior. He started the ball game and has not taken a shot. 6'4".
Yeah.
And he's not taking a shot in the game. I don't get it. 4 rebounds and 3 personal fouls. He got in foul trouble early, but so that's, limited his time, but only 10 minutes in the ball game.
And then you look at North Little Rock, and their scoring is very balanced.
Yep, very balanced.
You've got Spencer Sims, who's got 11 points, but other than that, everybody's in the 5, 6, and 4 range.
You're right.
And I think if Florence had more of that, this game would be nip and tuck.
7 of 9 players who have been on the floor for North Little Rock have tallied 6 points each for Sean Fudge and Tracy Steele, 4 points apiece for DJ Smith and Colin Moore, 5 points for Kalen McCullough, and 2 for Jakor Williams. And they've got the ball right now, shooting 45% for the ball game. In a zone, they got into the middle of it, missed the shot, but a dunk back for Colin Moore.
That was a great follow-up there.
He timed it perfectly, and it's a 14-point lead again. 40-26.
Did you see how the anticipation there with Spencer Sims on that pass? He almost stole it.
And that's a
wild
shot.
desperation
yeah,
shot.
And just no shot clock. There's no need for that. That's the type of shot you take when the shot clock's running out, and we don't have one. And North Little Rock is going to get a second opportunity as Florence is in a zone, 2-3 zone, and North Little Rock's having its way with Florence's defense right now.
Well,
3 in the air, bang! That's Lorenzo Fort again.
it's like it's on, well, I'm going to believe that's probably going to be Sean Fudge.
Yep. No foul's going to go against DJ Smith.
Is it?
Yep. trying to see who made that three at the other end because I don't think it was Fudge. And again, Devin Carter is just beside himself. He's had 3 free throws that have been inside the hole and ricocheted out. Lead is 17. That's the largest advantage of the ball game for North Little Rock. And finally, a free throw goes down for Florence. Jalen Forbes, as I'm looking at the Big Shots preview of the Beach Ball Classic, says he's a 4-star, number 85 player nationally, number 2 in the state of Mississippi, and there's a layup on the offensive end for the Wildcats. The lead is back to 17. Pull-up jumper is short, but an offensive putback. First bucket of the ball game by Jalen Johnson. So Johnson finally scratches. Lead is 16. I thought it was 18 before, but the number was not up on the board yet. So we've got a timeout with 11:49 to play in the ball game. It's North Little Rock 45, Florence 29. You're watching the 38th annual Beach Ball Classic on Stadium.
That foul's on Wayne.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach time.
These telecasts of the 38th annual Beach Ball Classic are brought to you by outstanding sponsors of this event, including HTC. This is life. Connect with it and visit myrtlebeach.com. And John, visit myrtlebeach.com, so instrumental in making sure that the Beach Ball Classic is put on, and these broadcasts are brought to you every year. They are our major benefactor, but it's great to come to Myrtle Beach in December, in the middle of the summer, or whenever you get a chance to come experience all the amenities that is offered here at Myrtle Beach. Market Common, Broadway at the beach, the Sky Wheel, and the little ocean we have about 3 blocks from here.
Absolutely, and you know, we can't thank Myrtle Beach Chamber of Commerce for being a part of this event. Without their financial aid,
yes,
then we would not be on the air broadcast. HCC's done a great job and carried it over the internet, streamlining it. They've been our partner for years. We cannot thank them enough. But right now, I'd like to see Florence, Mississippi, get back into this game.
Yeah, they need to make a run, and this guy right here is the one that'll help them do it. He's their best scorer, but he's had a bad day shooting the basketball. He's got 12 points to go with 12 rebounds. He just made the free shot. Let's see if he can add to it. 13, 14 points.
Right.
So now 14 points to 12 rebounds. And I want to thank, as John said, Karen Riordan, the new CEO of the Myrtle Beach Area Chamber of Commerce, and Rachel Ammon, who has been terrific in helping us with our preparations.
Yes, Rachel's the best. There's no question about it. She's really been an asset for the chamber. She's been on top of every sporting event they've been broadcast in this town. So congratulations, Rachel, for the job you're doing.
Thank you. 45-31 leads down to 14. It was as many as 17 a moment, or 18 a moment ago. So Florence trying to cut into it. Still a little more than 10 minutes left.
That's going to be Jalen's third foul.
Third foul.
Jalen Forbes.
Jalen Forbes, Jalen Johnson, both have 3, and Wayne Lewis has 4 fouls on him now. So the piling up. 12 fouls total. But 12 also on North Little Rock, but theirs are spread out more amongst the squad. Forbes across the timeline and has his pocket picked. All the way to the rack, and then he fouls, but no whistle. The shooter, and it's cleaned up by Tracy Steele.
That's just careless dribbling.
And it cost him, that's basically a 4-point turnaround. Shot again around the cylinder and pops back out. Just goes, and they've had so many of those go down inside the rim and rattle back out. DJ Smith to the line. Back outside. Steele, running one-hander, drains it. Tracy Steele got 10 points in the ball game now. Enters double digits. Two-handed block, but must have got a piece of the body. Jalen Johnson spun underneath the basket, and a third foul is called on Colin Moore. Moore started off quick, but only has 6 points. He has 11 rebounds, though. Top rebounder for the Wildcats. Moore checks out, and Kylan McCullough checks back in.
Can't get the ball to go in the hole. It will not stay down, Alex.
It's just that the rims are set by the NCAA before North Carolina's women comes in here to play, so the rib is just right, but for some reason, little hard shots. There's Forbes again, and he nails this one. Finally, gets one to go down from the field.
Alan, for a moment here, we were talking about North Little Rock, and of course, they're missing Moses Moody, who is the 27th ranked junior in the country that transferred out and went to Montverde this year. But let me tell you, Alan, I don't think they're missing him.
Not right now, they're not. This team is very well schooled, very disciplined. Now Florence comes out in the man-to-man. I like that. Devin Carter doing a nice job in the open floor, but a backdoor cut up off the window, no good. And it's batted out of bounds by North Little Rock. Sean Fudge, the last to touch. It'll be Florence basketball, still down by 19 now.
You got plenty of time. You got 9 minutes left. The game's not over. You know how basketball is. You never know.
NBA 3 by Forbes, no good. Rebound, though, by Johnson, put back up, and a foul is committed by the Wildcats. Wildcats, 4 of the last 5 state championships. They were 27-5 last year and 7A state champions.
Yes, that's the top of the league.
Yep. Only have 4 classifications.
They also have a pretty good football program, too.
I would imagine. Actually, 5 classifications now in South Carolina. We just changed that a couple of years ago from 4. But when you get up there to 7, that's some large schools. And if you're the best of the biggest, That's pretty good.
And we need to congratulate Mickey Wilson and the Myrtle Beach Seahawks on their state championship football game.
Do we have to?
Yes, we have to, Alan.
I love
Absolutely.
Mickey. Absolutely. They deserved every bit of it. They earned their way to that football state title. And here's a blocked shot. And North Little Rock wasting no time trying to get the ball to the hole.
And let's not forget to congratulate while we're at it, a little town over the country over there that won the first state championship ever.
Yep, Green Sea Floyds won their first state title in school history in football. Here's a baseline dribble drive, and the pass out of bounds.
Did Green Sea Floyds win the girls' state championship last year in basketball?
No, they lost in the finals.
Lost
in the finals of the girls 1A. So Forbes with it across the timeline. And all the way to the baseline he goes. Puts it up off the glass, too short.
That's impossible.
It's pulled off the cup by Mackay Washington. And it's batted from behind. Finally, they get it up floor. Underneath, interior passing, cost them possession. But now they get it back and then a foul. Wow, lots of bodies banging into one another and no whistles. Whole lot of bodies banging into one another. There's a long three. Gets his own rebound, puts it back up and in, and one.
I'm telling you, the ball for them, every shot is bouncing all over the rim.
Yep, it is drawing all iron, but
it's the same rim we had this past week for the championship game in the girls tournament that Bishop McNamara shot over 50% for the game.
That's the fourth foul on Mackay Washington, the 6'5" junior. He's going to stay in the ball game. And at the foul line, Lorenzo Fort misses, and it's brought down by Washington. 7.5 to play. Lead is still large, 17 points. Cross-court pass now, post entry. Shot is blocked from behind. And finally we get a whistle on that end of the floor. We hadn't seen one down there in a while.
If Florence could capitalize on the opportunities on the free throw line, because Little Rock is 8-3 in fouls right now.
Yeah. Florence is in the bonus.
But they have not been able to do that.
4 fouls now on Kareem Cotton for North Little Rock. So they've got some foul trouble as well. First one is up. Strips to Twine. And he'll get a second on the bonus. Lorenzo Fort for the ball game. Has 14 points now. Lead is down to 15, and almost a highlight reel dunk.
He was up there.
He was way up there. Now you see we do have the restricted areas painted on the floor beneath the basket, but that is for college hoops. Woo, he's way up there. And draws the charge, or draws the blocking foul.
From what we see right now in this leaping ability, I think Sunday night's going to be a pretty good slam dunk contest.
Absolutely. And he connects on the foul shot. Colin Moore. Moore has 4 fouls. And the second one rattles in and spits back out. So the lead is 16, and a fast break opportunity finally from Florence.
Good pass.
That's the first one they've had in the ball game. Got down the floor without being contested. 14-point lead now. Double dribble, says Joey Manigault. Is going to turn it over. That is number 9 on the Wildcats. And wow, the lead was above 20 a moment ago. Now it's down to 14. And that's a jump ball. Good defense by North Little Rock's Jacor Williams.
How quick their hands are.
Yeah. Jacor reached in and just kind of yanked the ball, and both were hanging on. But Florence, there's Forbes from deep on the right side. Bang! And finally he throws his hands up and looks to the sky and says, finally.
He's got a great stroke. He really does. I mean, he's
You can tell he's a good shooter. Just hadn't gone down for him today. He now is 19 in the ball game and drew his fifth. Is that his fifth foul or fourth? Fourth foul. So Forbes now has 4. Lewis has 4. Oh, man.
No, they called it on number 3.
Okay.
They called it.
They called it on Wayne Lewis, and that's his 5th.
Yep.
He just fouled out. Well, I guess, Coach Chancellor would probably accept that because his best scorer would be limited in the final 6 minutes. And the first foul shot is good. Extends the lead back to 16. Excuse me, back to 12. Looking at the wrong score sheet. And it's 13 now. 55-42. So what was a 21-point lead was cut down to 12.
Yes.
So it's a 13-point advantage right now. Forbes, who hit that 3 a moment ago, is going to load another one up. Dialing long distance. Hello! 2 in a row. He's found the range, John. And he gets a steal at the other end. Forbes hits the 3 and gets back on defense. Now comes up with it. Lead is down to 10. He's going to try it again from long range and comes up way short this time. May have been partially blocked. Forbes is coming live, and so is Florence. Down to 10. 5:40 to play. A little flex cut by the Wildcats, and they hit one from deep in the left corner. 3-point shot by Kalen McCullough. Devin Carter back to Forbes. Dribble drive into the paint. Double scoop shot, no good. And an offensive rebound, a foul, and 1. They're going to count the bucket, says Joey Manigault. And it looks like the foul is going to be on, I didn't see the 23. Okay, Sean Fudge, again, his second. Johnson completes the 3-point play.
Back to 10.
So it's a 10-point ball game again. Conventional 3 this time. Across the 10-second mark. Now the top of the key, pull up, 2-point shot, no good. Rebound Forbes. Chance for Florence to get it to single digits now. That'd be as close as they've been since midway through the first half, when the game was tied at 16 and a timeout called by Coach Chancellor with 4:57 to go in the ball game. Coach Rice is shaking his head going, guys, it's a 32-minute game.
What do you think, Alan?
Well, I know that Coach Rice's team is missing a lot of those shots that they were making early on, the layups, but tell you what, Florence, and as Forbes goes, so go the Eagles.
He's hit a couple of big threes, and
Forbes is now up to 7 of 31, but 3 of 13 threes and 2 in a row. Just a few minutes ago, 13 boards to go with his 22 points in 27 minutes of action.
And we go back to North Little Rock, and they still have a balanced scoring.
3 players in double figures.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be hard to beat because they're very consistent on sharing the ball.
Shooting 44% from the floor, 30% for Florence. Top scorer, Sean Fudge for North Little Rock. Spencer Sims has 12.
It's another three by Forbes.
And Forbes nails it again.
Now we got a 7-point game.
And he has shown what he came here to show. Makes his 8th field goal of the ball game. And the 5-second closely guarded. They were wanting it, but they didn't get it. And the baseline dribble drive. And we've got a carry for the second time against Florence.
He did a little hesitation.
Yep.
And stopped. And it was definitely a carry.
Yep, Lorenzo Fort turns it over. That is the 8th turnover of the ball game. That's it. And here's a drive into the lane, and then a baseline penetration, and we're going to get a foul.
This is 4th. Jalen Forbes.
Is that on Forbes?
Yep.
Yep, his 4th. So Forbes just picked up his 4th foul, and they're going to need him down the stretch. His 3-point shot got the game to 7. North Little Rock can get it back to double digits with a foul shot here. And it rips the cords. So Sean Fudge, he's the leading scorer with 14 points. Make it 15 as he rattles the second one through. So it's an 11-point ball game again, and almost a steal. It's picked up in the open floor by Fort, high on the left-hand quarter. You're right, John. The hands by this North Little Rock team is perfect. They have gotten steal after steal after steal with reach ins.
It's absolutely amazing how aggressive they are and how good they are with their hands.
No whistle. Thought he may have gotten fouled in the lane, and then an off-balance shot by DJ Smith threads through, and the lead is 13 again. Forbes for 3. This one way short. Front iron, and then Forbes steals it away from the rebounder, misses the dunk, gets his own rebound, puts it back up and in, and gets fouled.
Didn't call it.
They didn't call the
Did
foul.
not call the foul.
The referee had his hand up to call a foul, and he didn't blow the whistle. He had the closed fist to call the foul and didn't blow the whistle. Unbelievable. And with 3:13 to play, we've got a media timeout on the floor. North Little Rock just extended the lead back to 13, and we'll have a foul shot when we return to the Myrtle Beach Convention Center right here for the Beach Ball Classic on Stadium.
Looking for the best place for oceanfront fun? Keeping the kids cool as you relax and float around our lazy river. The Breakers Resort has excitement for the entire family. Plenty of space on our oceanfront deck and the best restaurants on property, like breakfast, coffee on the balcony, or entertainment and drinks. However you choose to spend your vacation, make sure to stay at the Breakers Resort in the heart of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Back inside the Myrtle Beach Convention Center. Don't go anywhere. After this ball game, we've got the visitmyrtlebeach.com post-game show, and then Jack Murphy will get you ready for game number 2 of this first day of action at the 38th Annual Beach Ball Classic. Christian Academy of Myrtle Beach taking on Archbishop Stepinac of upstate New York. But right now, we have ourselves a little bit better a ball game than we did about 10 minutes ago when it was a 21-point game But now Florence has fought its way back in, got the lead all the way down to 7 for North Little Rock, but it's extended back to 13 now, and trying to extend it even one more is Sean Fudge to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. One foul shot coming. 47% on the night from the field, and the free throw is missed. Florence is only 31% from the field, but this guy is starting to heat up. Jalen Forbes gets it off to Johnson, has the ball stolen, and a reach-in foul. It's going to go against Florence. Both teams in the bonus now. And that foul is on Jalen Johnson. Is that his fifth or his fourth? Fourth on Johnson, 6'4" senior. So they've got a bunch of people with 4 fouls now.
Just some bad ball handling on Forbes. Not Forbes, but the whole Florence team.
Yep, they've not been able to take care of it, but Forbes comes down with another rebound. That is 16 for him now. And all the way to the bucket. Layup good by Devin Carter. He takes it 94 feet. Scores from close in. Lead back down to 11. Still plenty of time, 2:45 to play. Foul line extended. Out to the baseline. Now they'll recycle. No shot clock, so Coach Rice says, move the basketball. Missed the layup. But he got it back on the baseline. A little quick move by DJ Smith to grab it away. All the way to the hole and a jam. Nobody picked up Colin Moore, and he flushed it. Forbes throws it wildly, thought he got fouled.
I think he did.
I think he did too.
Got beat
No
to
whistle.
death.
He dribbled through 2 defenders. Both reached in, got a piece of the arm. And, well, it might have gotten tripped there, but no whistle again. Inadvertent at the other end. It's a layup, and it's a 9-point ball game. No, it's an 11-point game, excuse me. They had already put the points up there. 68-57 now. Under 2 minutes. Teardrop runner. And a whistle. On.
Charging.
A charge. And Coach Rice just yelled at his point guard, we are winning the game by double digits. Why would you run in there and pick up a foul and stop the clock when you can run some? Devin Carter over the top, throws it right to a defender. 2-on-2 break, layup good and one. Another Colin Moore. Tell you what, he's my leading candidate for the HTC player of the game right now, John.
Well, I agree with you 100%, and he got rode all the way to the basket.
Colin Moore, double-double in the ball game. He has 11 points and 12 rebounds, looking for his 12th point, but no. Drive into the paint, kick back out for the 3. Got it. Lead now down to 10. And they're fighting for it in the backcourt, full court pressure. And we've got a foul. That is number 5 on Jalen Johnson. He is disqualified. And it's going to send the Wildcats back to the foul line.
We want to congratulate the coach from North Little Rock at his sportsmanship.
Great sportsmanship. Goes over and shakes the hand of the opposing coach. And so Jalen Johnson, with 69 seconds left, looks like they'll be playing at one of the consolation bracket games tomorrow around lunchtime. Second free throw is good, and it's a dozen-point ball game. Florence now gets a little bit of pressure from North Little Rock, so they'll pick it up. Three-quarter court. And again, great hands by the Wildcats. Gets another steal. And going the other way, layup good. The littlest guy against the biggest guy on the court, and the little guy gets the better of it. And Devin Carter
twisted his ankle.
Yep. He certainly went after it. He got tangled up after the shot. He's going to take a seat. And Eric Simmons comes in for the first time, 5'10 sophomore. Sees his first action today. This is just game one of 20 games that you'll see this week on Stadium and on HTC and at beachballclassic.com if you want to watch online. Here's a three from deep in the left. Shot up, no good. Defensive rebound for North Little Rock. 4 games each day, starting at 3:30 today, tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. And then at 1:45, we begin on Monday with a championship game at 7 p.m. This is all Eastern time for those of you watching in Arkansas and Mississippi or elsewhere around the world. Nice little finger roll by Colin Moore. Looking more and more, pun intended, like our HTC player of the game. Long three by Forbes. Adds to his shot total, but not to the pleasure of his head coach as they fall to Little Rock, Arkansas, 76-60. The Florence, Mississippi Eagles will fall into the consolation bracket, and they will play at noon tomorrow against the loser of the next game, Myrtle Beach Christian Academy and Archbishop Stepinac out of New York State. It's 76-60 is your final, and with a final word or two from John and I, and then we'll turn it over to the Visit Myrtle Beach post-game show when we return to the Myrtle Beach Convention Center on Stadium.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach time.
Got game? Then bring it to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The city of Myrtle Beach hosts more than 3,000 teams and 10,000 games each year and features first-class tournament facilities. From the expansive multi-purpose Grand Park Athletic Complex at the Market Common to the state-of-the-art all-weather synthetic track at the Doug Shaw Memorial Stadium. From home runs to hole-in-ones. If you've got game, then bring your tournament to the city of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Back live at the Myrtle Beach Convention Center. Alan Smothers joined by John Rhodes here courtside. We saw game one. It was close early. North Little Rock, Arkansas jumped out to about a 7-point lead at 16 to 8 or 16 to 9, and then it was tied up at 16. But from there on, it was pretty much all Little Rock, Arkansas. They were able to get more consistency out of their entire roster than did the Eagles from Florence, Mississippi, and they will move to 11-1 on the year now. 27 points, 17 rebounds for Jalen Forbes, but that was pretty much it for the Eagles.
9 for 37 from the floor. I mean, you know, Florence goes as Jalen goes.
Yep.
And he did not get off to a good start. He was like 1 for 10 before he really hit a three-pointer. But Florence did come back. They cut it to 7. They were making a pretty good run.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden, the quick hands of North Little Rock took hold of the game and made the steals. I mean, it was amazing how quick they are. They were intercepting passes, they were getting rebounds, and they were doing a balanced scoring with the team.
Yeah, they were actually, only credited with 6 steals. I think they got more than 6, but 11 turnovers total by Florence, but 6 of those were live ball steals that went the other way and usually ended up with a 2 or 3 points at the end of it.
Well, listen, it's hard to beat a team that has 5 players in double figures.
Yep.
And shooting 50% from the floor. And, of course, Florence, they did not have a good shooting night. As I say, they go by Jalen Forbes. They shot 32% from the floor. It's hard to beat a team shooting 50.
Yeah, they shot for the game 28 of 56, and even 50% on the ball game for North Little Rock. For Florence, Mississippi, they shot just 32% on 21 of 64 from the field. And again, the Forbes night, 27 points, 17 rebounds, but it was not enough to carry the Eagles as the Wildcats get the win. 19 points out of Sean Fudge. He was the top scorer, but John and I discussed the HTC player of the game has to be Colin Moore, because he scored on the offensive end and then pulled the rebounds on the defensive end. He was terrific. 13 points and 12 rebounds.
And his 12 rebounds, 10 of them were defensive.
Yep.
So that was the big thing that made us make that decision, that Colin was the person that we needed to want to be the HTC player of the game.
Yeah, Colin Moore, he was consistent throughout the night as well, and that's what I'm sure that Coach Rice will want out of his team the rest of this week, is consistency. You got to win 4 to win the Beach Ball Classic.
But I'm going to tell you, I do not believe we've seen the last of Florence.
Oh, I have no doubt.
They get it going tomorrow, they're going to be in that championship bracket all the way through in the Consolation Championship.
There you go. And
would not surprise me if they're not the team that takes it.
Well, they certainly will be back on TV if they're in the Consolation Championship on Monday. We will have all of the games for the Consolation Championship, the 5th place, the 3rd place, and the championship game on Monday right here on Stadium View. And we hope that you'll be back with us, both Eagle fans and Wildcat fans. John, great to work with you in Game 1.
Alan, it was a pleasure. I enjoyed it, and maybe the next time I'll have a little more input.
Well, John is our executive director. He's the one who chooses all the teams who come to the Beach Ball Classic each year, and it was great to have him with me in Game 1. I'll be back at 8:45 tonight with the former head coach of the East Carolina Pirates, Heather Macy, is going to join us to call some Beach Ball Classic action. But up next, it's Tyler Watkins and Darren Gore as Archbishop Stepinac and Myrtle Beach's Christian Academy face off in Game 2 of the first round of the Beach Ball Classic. When we return, though, it's the VisitMyrtleBeach.com pregame show with Banana Jack Murphy. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the 38th Annual Beach Ball Classic on Stadium.